I'd like to say this first and foremost. Audiences aren't stupid. They can smell an imitation easier than you think. That's exactly what the reaction was when Zathura hit theaters, despite the fact that its book counterpart was also done by Chris Van Allsburg. I could be wrong, but I can only imagine this book was written to try and recreate the magic of Chris's original hit after not having any equal successes for a long time. Kind of like how the movie was made to almost directly mimic the film that came before it. The same story formula is there, they just changed the setting. Released in 2002, the book picks up right where Jumanji left off, centering on the two boys previously seen carrying the game home. Their mother heads out for the evening, presumably to hang with Judy and Peter's parents, leaving her two bratty sons, Danny and Walter, home for the evening. One good roughhousing later, and the two boys find themselves in the park face to face with the board game Judy and Peter left. So Danny decides to take it home and give it a shot, but decides that it's too boring. Before he puts it away, he sees something else buried beneath the game box. He bangs Jumanji against the floor, and out pops Zathura on the flip side. A space adventure, not a jungle adventure. How's that supposed to work? One roll of the dice causes meteors to tear through the roof. Next thing they know, their house has been launched into outer space, and the only way to get back home is to reach the planet Zathura at the end of the game. So essentially, it's Jumanji, but in space! The 2005 film does maintain the focus on Danny and Walter, severing all connections with Jumanji aside from the tagline on the poster, and makes its own set of changes. In this version, the mom is replaced by Tim Robbins as the recently divorced workaholic dad. Walter is now played by a pre-Hunger Games Josh Hutcherson, and just to round out the family, they now get to deal with airhead teenage sister played by pre-Twilight Kristen Stewart. This time, workaholic dad, who just moved into this house, decides to put them aside for, what else? Work, leaving them to their own devices. So while Sis is sleeping upstairs, Walter traps Danny in the basement where he comes across the game Zathura. He takes it out with him, and from there, the book story pretty much picks up, meteors and all. Like its predecessor, the film does use the book's events as a template along with making its own additions and tweaks here and there. The house launched into space is amazingly well brought to life in the film. Walter losing gravity and almost getting shot out at the roof was in the book too, minus the film's added cheating punishment. The killer robot in the book, which looks like the Tin Man crossed with Cutman, gets an admittedly needed upgrade in the film. The Zorgon space pirates are straight out of the book too, now extending their presence time in the story. And lastly, the game ending with a black hole rewinding time till before the game started, also in the book, although I'm pretty sure that's a Roger Rabbit cartoon hole they used. Technically, the film didn't take much out, minus Danny's center of gravity increasing enough to turn him into a Wonka blueberry and bowl over the robot. It's the additions of the film that I find very much perplexing. Partway through, we get a new character in the form of an anonymous spaceman they find floating around in space, and here's where the formula starts to show itself. You ever have that strange sense of deja vu when you feel like as soon as a character comes in, you know exactly what his backstory is going to be because you still have fond memories of the film it's trying to imitate? That would be this guy right here.
I played this game before. Okay? I played it with my own brother 15 years ago.
I don't believe it. An added character who played the game back when he was a kid and got trapped in it until he was an adult, till he was summoned out by two other kids playing the game, and now he gets to use his knowledge of the game's universe to advance the plot. Oh wow, this isn't anything like that Robin Williams character in that other movie. Oh no, because this time, we got the I Like Money guy from Idiocracy. I can already tell how they sold him on this part.
Oh, I like money.
That's my biggest gripe with the film, is that even with the tweaks done to the plot, they still somehow managed to mirror the exact same story changes Jumanji made with its book counterpart. Two kids from the book experiencing a new house with at least one parent out of the picture? Check. Have the game punish a character for cheating? Check. Add in elaborate sequences where the game itself is in trouble from its own elements and needs to be rescued? Check. Come on, movie, don't you have anything new to add here?
Give me a juice box, biatch.
That's new. Okay, so the movie does do its own thing too, but the problem is, it's not always for the better. The addition of the annoying teenage sister stereotype to the plot doesn't really add much, seeing as the game makes the choice to put her in cryostasis for the majority of the film. Could be worse. Technically, this is not the stiffest performance I've seen from Kristen Stewart. Okay, you know what? I'm sorry, I have to take advantage of this. Kristen Stewart is Frozen. I cannot let this opportunity go to waste. Hang on. So yeah, Kristen Stewart, Frozen. This was the thing that happened. Well, I guess she's glad that Twilight happened, otherwise I could have really chilled her career. Say hello to Austin Powers and Walt Disney for me, sweet cheeks. Somebody put a price tag on her and stick her in the Louvre. Sounds like a Shel Silverstein poem, doesn't it? One sister for sale, one sister for sale, one frozen up, sister for sale. She's more frozen than Idina Menzel on a popsicle stick, know what I'm saying? I guess Mr. Freeze found a new wife. Somebody had to ice that biatch. Hey, it's okay to say in a kid's movie now, trust me. Yeah, my ice jokes are running pretty cold here, so I'll just end on this. You know what? Maybe she should have taken up that offer to be in Warm Bodies after all. Boom! Thank you, I'm here all week. The final piece of this puzzle is how the moral of the story is conveyed. In the book, Walter enters the black hole and travels back in time to the point where they found the game in the park. Instead of taking the game home, Walter decides to take the evening in a different direction, stop fighting with his brother, and just go play. I get the vague sense that the moral of the story is get along with your siblings. You know, vague, that one thing you're not supposed to do in movies.
There's some days, boys, when you gotta grow up all at once. I need today to be one of those days.
That line was in the trailer. And no, it didn't go subtle after that. I forgot to mention earlier how much the two boys fight and shout in the movie. It's loyal to the book, but it gets aggravating to listen to after a while. That's why the second twist involving the spaceman exists. Apparently, he used the game to wish his little brother never had been born, and he spent the past 16 years inside the game regretting it. So you can see where this is going. The big ultimate twist? The spaceman is really Walter from an alternate future. How is that possible? Because Zathura is a black hole. This plot device is such a load of crow to eat, it's hard to know where to start. But hey, at least now we know why they never asked the spaceman his name to begin with, because they had to lead up to a plot twist that Doc Brown would have an aneurysm trying to explain. But still, the good news is we have something that ends with the same logic of the book. Discarding all theoretical science, the boys rewind time and Deus Ex Machina. Be good to your siblings. Yeah, that bike gag I'm not gonna dwell on too much because it's time for the age-old question. Which one wins, book or movie? Scale of betterness. The movie wins slightly.
It was so awesome. There was this game, and then we went to outer space, and everything got wrecked, and we almost had to stay there forever.
Don't push your luck. Okay, so I ragged on this movie a lot. It's got plot holes and issues of its own up the wazoo. So does the book, though. Maybe I'm just thinking too logically for fantasy, but as I keep telling people, that's what happens when you try to explain too much. The artwork in Jumanji was so hyper-realistic, it was easy to immerse myself in it. But whatever they've got going here with this hard-edged, pointillized comic book style isn't easy on the eyes. Overall, I just get the impression that this book was made as a follow-up that lacks the soul of what made Jumanji stand out. The film has its flaws, but somehow, I still see effort here. Jon Favreau does the best with what he's got with this script, even if all he's got is a small cast of characters and a limited set of locations. If anything, it shows that even after Elf, he could direct a blockbuster, and looking at what he's done since then, he's been on a pretty good streak. So it's an obvious imitation based on a book that was also an obvious imitation. At the end of the day, there's only one winner, and that's going to be the one that has just a little more spit polish to it. Jumanji's still the better movie, though. Just saying. Anyway, that's all for this episode. Don't forget to join me next time as I round out this little trilogy with a magical trip to the North Pole. All aboard!
I wanted to be a spaceman, that's what I wanted to be. But now that I am a spaceman,
Give me a juice box, biatch.
I like money.
I'm gonna go find the game.
He has gorgeous eyes. What? He obviously feels very protective over me. I just feel so safe around him.
I don't know. You think someone should tell her?
They were siblings! They were siblings, you sick bastard!
If you like what you saw here, please, please, please try to help support it. I have a Patreon page. You can help me by going over there, throwing some money, whatever amount that you like to throw in. If you're not watching this on YouTube, I also have a YouTube channel. So go there and hit that subscribe button to be notified whenever new videos and new content come out. I'm also on Facebook. Go over there and like that page so you can be notified as well whenever a new episode or video of some sort come out, as well as exclusive behind-the-scenes content. You can also hit me up on Twitter over there to see what kind of stuff that I like to share. Just be warned though, I don't like getting too many messages. So if you're constantly sending me stuff all the time, I can get really agitated. Remember, my privacy is golden. And if you like my t-shirt, I got a t-shirt store over there too. I got links, I got fresh designs, I got new stuff coming out over there, provided of course that anything actually sells. That's about it. If you like what I do, hit that like button, Facebook me, tweet me, share me on your little social networking sites, do whatever you gotta do. Email me to all your little friends, and that's all I gotta say. Thank you, and peace.